A single Arab king's annual perfume budget could buy you 100 luxury cars, and that's just what they spend on smelling good. From gold-plated private jets to palaces with more rooms than some small hotels, these monarchs redefine what it means to be wealthy. I'm about to show you a world where dropping $100 million on a painting is considered casual shopping. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and if you have any thoughts about the video, leave them in the comments down below. We always love reading them. 10. King Hussein of Jordan, the royal pilot with a sky full of luxuries. King Hussein of Jordan took his love of flying to extraordinary heights, assembling a personal air force of over 70 aircraft. This wasn't just any collection. We're talking modified military jets and custom helicopters worth more than $300 million. The maintenance alone required an entire division of the Royal Jordanian Air Force dedicated to keeping his private fleet airworthy. Back on the ground, Hussein's palace complex was equally impressive. Spanning 28 separate buildings, it featured a private mosque for personal worship, a theater for exclusive entertainment, and an Olympic-sized swimming pool lined with imported Italian marble. When you're royalty, why settle for standard amenities? His garage housed over 100 rare vehicles, but his prized possession was a custom Mercedes-Benz 600 Pullman. This wasn't your typical luxury sedan. It featured bulletproof glass and gold-plated interior fixtures that transformed an already expensive car into a mobile palace. Hussein's wrist often displayed timepieces from his $15 million watch collection. A single watch he wore to a formal event was more than what the average Jordanian family earned in 20 years. Well, think about that. The time-telling device on his arm exceeded 2 decades of income for his subjects. Despite cultivating a moderate image with Western allies, Hussein's annual personal spending on luxury items regularly exceeded $50 million. That's the equivalent of building several schools or hospitals each year, spent instead on maintaining his royal lifestyle. 9. King Abdullah II of Jordan, the action hero monarch's royal excesses. King Abdullah II isn't your typical monarch. Before taking the throne, he appeared as an extra in Star Trek and trained with elite military units around the world. This unusual background influenced his royal lifestyle, blending Hollywood glamour with military precision. His main palace in Oman stretches across more than 40 acres of prime real estate. Running this massive compound requires 800 staff members dedicated solely to maintenance and daily operations. That's a larger workforce than many established corporations maintain globally. Abdullah's passion for motorcycles manifests in his collection of over 30 high-end bikes valued at $2 million. His custom Harley-Davidson features gold-plated components and speedometers embedded with actual diamonds, luxury most motorcycle enthusiasts can only dream about. For international travel, Abdullah flies in a modified Airbus A340 that received a $100 million interior renovation. This flying palace includes a full-bedroom suite, conference room for mid-air meetings, and a medical facility staffed with personal physicians. While Jordan receives billions in foreign aid, Abdullah allocates approximately $20 million annually just on personal security. His protection detail includes former Special Forces operators from the US and UK who earn salaries multiple times higher than those protecting average citizens. His winter vacations reach new heights of extravagance, typically costing upwards of $5 million for 2-week stays at exclusive resorts. These getaways require reserving entire floors to accommodate his entourage of more than 50 people who attend to his every need. 8. King Hassan II of Morocco, the monarch who built golden palaces. King Hassan II of Morocco constructed what remains the world's largest royal palace complex. Sprawling across 80 hectares in Rabat, this massive compound exceeds the entire landmass of Monaco. This wasn't just a home, it was a statement of power carved in marble and stone. Daily operations required an army of staff. 1,500 servants maintained the 200-plus rooms, while 20 full-time chefs prepared royal meals using ingredients flown in daily from Paris and Madrid. Fresh seafood from the Mediterranean would arrive for lunch, while specialty produce from European markets appeared for dinner. The throne room itself showcased Hassan's extravagance. Its ceiling contained 1,000 pounds of gold leaf, with decorative elements in that single room costing approximately $35 million. Visitors described feeling as if they were standing inside a treasure chest. For his 60th birthday, Hassan spared no expense. He flew in 300 European performers and chefs for a 3-day celebration with a price tag of $60 million, equivalent to Morocco's entire annual healthcare budget for a province of 2 million people. His collection of ceremonial weapons included over 200 swords and daggers, many encrusted with diamonds and emeralds, valued at more than $70 million total. These weren't just weapons, but symbols of royal authority rarely seen by the public. Meanwhile, Hassan's garage housed 100 luxury vehicles, including 20 custom-modified Rolls-Royces. This automotive indulgence occurred while 15% of Morocco's population survived on less than $2 per day. 7. King Mohammed VI of Morocco, the business mogul king's billion-dollar lifestyle. King Mohammed VI isn't just Morocco's monarch. He's one of Africa's wealthiest business moguls, controlling a $5.7 billion empire through the royal investment company SNI. His business ventures span banking, telecommunications, and real estate across multiple continents. The king's lifestyle reflects his immense wealth. While 9% of Moroccans struggle with poverty, Mohammed spends an astonishing $1 million daily operating his 12 palaces. These royal residences employ over 1,100 staff members who maintain everything from the manicured gardens to the antique furnishings. For his 50th birthday, Mohammed commissioned a truly one-of-a-kind timepiece, a custom Patek Philippe watch valued at $1.2 million. The exquisite piece features diamonds and rubies carefully arranged to form the Moroccan flag on its face. His annual vacation expenses exceed $12 million, with frequent stays at his French chateau near Paris. The European retreat boasts a heated indoor pool, private cinema, and an art collection valued at $20 million. Mohammed's wardrobe contains over 300 bespoke suits crafted by London's elite tailors. Each costs approximately $10,000, and palace insiders confirm he never wears the same formal outfit twice at official functions. When traveling between his dozen palaces, Mohammed relies on a fleet of luxury helicopters that costs $60,000 per hour to operate. The annual maintenance budget for his royal air transportation alone totals $8 million, enough to build several schools or hospitals for his citizens. 6. King Fahd of Saudi Arabia, the monarch who redefined royal extravagance. King Fahad's primary residence redefined royal housing with its 317 rooms filled with custom furniture worth over $150 million. Each piece was personally selected and imported from master craftsmen in France and Italy. Walking through the palace meant traversing acres of hand-woven carpets and passing under chandeliers that each cost more than an average home. The 1980s oil boom gave Fahd unprecedented wealth, which he showcased in his $2 billion vacation complex in Marbella, Spain. This Mediterranean retreat features a bizarre architectural mix, including a full-size replica of the White House and a mosque capable of holding 800 worshippers simultaneously. Commercial air travel was beneath Fahd's standard. His private fleet centered around a modified Boeing 747, featuring gold-plated bathroom fixtures and a literal throne room in the sky. Flight attendants reportedly wore uniforms designed by leading European fashion houses. His 147-meter yacht, Prince Abdulaziz, cost $184 million when built in 1984, about $460 million today. Even when anchored unused, a crew of 65 remained on full salary, maintaining its pristine condition. Fahd's gambling habits matched his spending elsewhere. During a single month in London in 1988, he lost approximately $6 million at exclusive casinos, equivalent to what 2,000 Saudi teachers earn in a year. When facing health issues, Fahd once spent $15 million to reserve and renovate an entire wing of a London hospital for just 2 weeks of treatment. The modifications included replacing standard medical equipment with gold-accented versions and installing custom furniture. 5. King Salman of Saudi Arabia, the guardian of a $1.4 trillion kingdom. King Salman stands as the current ruler of Saudi Arabia, overseeing the world's largest sovereign wealth fund valued at $1.4 trillion. This gives him personal access to financial resources exceeding the entire economic output of 90% of the world's nations. His main palace in Riyadh showcases unprecedented luxury with 460 rooms maintained by a staff of 1,500 people. The annual operating budget for this single residence reaches approximately $750 million, surpassing the entire government budgets of several small countries. For leisure, Salman commissioned a private desert retreat spanning 4,000 acres. This personal oasis featured artificial lakes that shimmer in the desert sun, a wildlife preserve stocked with imported exotic animals, and climate-controlled stables housing 200 Arabian thoroughbreds. International travel for the king requires logistics that would overwhelm most airport operations. Salman travels with an entourage exceeding 1,000 people. During one visit to Japan, his team booked 500 luxury hotel rooms and arranged 500 limousines for ground transportation. The king's private art collection includes masterpieces by Picasso, Monet, and Van Gogh, valued at over $200 million. These works remain in climate-controlled rooms within his palace, rarely seen by the public. Salman's security operation employs 800 personnel at a monthly cost of $18 million. This elite force includes former special forces operators from various countries who earn annual salaries exceeding $300,000 each, making them among the highest paid security professionals in the world. 4. King Khaled of Saudi Arabia, the falcon-loving king's golden reign. King Khaled of Saudi Arabia elevated falconry from a traditional pastime to an imperial obsession. He invested $40 million to build the world's most advanced falconry facility, employing 100 specialists from across the globe. These experts include veterinarians, trainers, and breeding specialists who devoted their careers to perfecting the royal bird collection. His falcons weren't ordinary hunting birds. The collection featured rare white gerfalcons valued up to $1 million each. During state ceremonies, select birds appeared wearing custom-made hoods encrusted with gold and diamonds, turning these hunting animals into living displays of royal wealth. Khaled's security concerns manifested in his transportation arrangements. His fleet comprised 120 luxury vehicles, including 20 identical Mercedes-Benz limousines, painted the exact same shade. This automotive duplication served as a security measure, making it impossible for potential assassins to identify which vehicle carried the king. The royal hunting expeditions to Pakistan and Morocco revealed the true scale of Khaled's luxury. Advanced teams of 200 people would arrive weeks early to construct desert camps featuring air conditioning, satellite communication centers, and gourmet kitchens in remote locations. Despite ruling during the 1970s oil crisis that tripled Saudi Arabia's wealth, Khaled's annual falcon breeding budget exceeds the entire national spending on public libraries. His collection extended beyond living treasures. Khaled amassed Islamic artifacts and manuscripts worth $85 million, housed in a custom-built museum within his palace. This private collection required 15 full-time conservators to maintain these historical treasures that few outsiders ever saw. 3. King Sawad of Saudi Arabia, the founder of modern royal excess. King Sawad pioneered the extravagant royal Saudi lifestyle we recognize today. As one of the first monarchs to benefit from the kingdom's oil wealth, he assembled a personal staff of over 5,000 people, a workforce larger than many corporations of his era. His automotive collection featured the world's first gold-plated Rolls-Royce, custom-engineered with refrigerated compartments to preserve his expensive perfumes in the desert heat. The vehicle even contained a built-in prayer compass that always pointed toward Mecca, allowing the king to fulfill his religious obligations while traveling. During his 11-year reign, Sawad constructed 30 different palaces across Saudi Arabia. His main residence contained more than 600 rooms and required water resources equivalent to what a town of 25,000 people would consume just to maintain its elaborate gardens and fountains. While public movie theaters were banned in Saudi Arabia until 2018, Sawad built private cinemas in each of his palaces. He regularly flew in Hollywood performers for exclusive screenings and private performances that his citizens would never witness. His wardrobe contained 2,000 custom-tailored outfits and 800 pairs of shoes, requiring a dedicated staff of 30 people solely to maintain his clothing collection. When Sawad visited New York in 1957, he booked entire floors of the Waldorf Astoria. Hotel staff watched in amazement as his team replaced existing furniture coverings with gold-threaded linens and installed temporary gold bathroom fixtures for his brief stay. 2. Sultan Qaboos of Oman, the Renaissance ruler's billion-dollar artistic legacy. Sultan Qaboos took Oman from a nation stuck in medieval times to a modern state during his 50-year reign. While modernizing his country, he built a personal fortune of $1.1 billion, directing much of his wealth towards cultural exhibits of grandeur. Unlike other Arab monarchs who spent fortunes on cars and planes, Qaboos channeled his wealth into the arts. As a classically trained musician, he invested $240 million to build Muscat's Royal Opera House and maintained a 120-piece private orchestra that performed exclusively for him and selected guests. His maritime indulgence, the Al Said yacht, stretches 155 meters and costs $300 million. This floating palace featured an onboard concert hall spacious enough for his 50-person orchestra to perform while sailing the Arabian Sea. Qaboos's main palace complex in Muscat comprises 8 separate buildings connected by underground tunnels. Within this labyrinth sits a private museum housing his collection of rare manuscripts valued at over $100 million. Despite never marrying or having children, Qaboos maintained 6 separate palace residences throughout Oman. Each remained fully staffed with 200-plus personnel year-round, even though the Sultan might visit some locations for only a few days annually. His fascination with history manifested in an extensive collection of antique weapons, including pieces dating to the 15th century. These artifacts required a humidity-controlled vault and $2 million in annual maintenance costs simply to preserve these historical treasures from degradation. 1. King Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz of Saudi Arabia, the reformer with a $1 trillion treasury. King Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz transformed Saudi Arabia during his reign while controlling wealth few world leaders could imagine. Under his leadership, Saudi Arabia accumulated foreign reserves exceeding $700 billion, financial resources greater than the entire economic output of all but 20 countries globally. Abdullah's approach to healthcare reflected his unlimited resources. He constructed a network of private medical facilities costing $300 million, staffed with 100 international medical specialists. These doctors remained on permanent retainer, each earning annual salaries exceeding $1 million just to be available for the king's needs. These desert retreats redefined temporary luxury. Abdullah built palace compounds in remote locations, complete with helicopter landing pads, state-of-the-art satellite communication centers, and water pipelines stretching hundreds of kilometers across the desert to supply his comfort. The king's intellectual pursuits required similar extravagance. His personal library contained over 200,000 volumes, including rare Islamic manuscripts valued at more than $150 million. This collection required 30 full-time librarians and conservators. Despite positioning himself as a reformer on the world stage, Abdullah's personal Riyadh Palace complex employed 4,000 staff members, exceeding the total number of teachers in some Saudi Arabia provinces. His falconry hobby operated at royal scale. Abdullah maintained a breeding program with 800 birds, some individual falcons valued at over $250,000 each. The program required an annual budget of $20 million just for training and veterinary care. These Arab monarchs operate in a financial realm beyond what most of us can comprehend. They've created a separate category of wealth where personal fortunes and national treasuries become nearly indistinguishable. Consider the scale. While Western billionaires might own a few mansions and private jets, these kings maintain dozens of palaces that could house entire communities and aircraft fleets larger than some countries' air forces. Their personal staff numbers often exceed what medium-sized corporations employ globally. What does this extreme concentration of wealth mean for the average citizen in these kingdoms? Subscribe to our channel for our upcoming analysis comparing these royal fortunes to the economic realities of their subjects.